Hey guys, welcome me again to another reaction video. I'm Mr. Lucky Luke, and today we're gonna be watching another death battle: Cell versus Metal Sonic, Dragon Ball Z versus Sonic the Hedgehog. Last time we watched Ichiko versus Yusuke, and now we're gonna watch Cell versus Metal Sonic. Two clash between two ultimate life forms, and this is gonna be pretty intense. As I did not click, I full screened it. I didn't press play, but you know what, it doesn't matter. But anyways, so today we're gonna be watching Cell versus Metal Sonic, a clash between two beings that has, well, pretty much can do almost everything you could say. Not exactly, but you can get the idea. This is gonna be a pretty interesting matchup, and if I remember, this is gonna be anime by DevilArtemis. I think it was the name. DevilArtemis. Let me just make sure I know his if that was his name here quickly. Just let me check the format. Just don't want to end up getting any confusions, you know. You never know if I mistakenly pronounce things wrong. DevilArtemis. Yeah, his name is that. And sadly, this was not going to be anime by Taka. So, you know, that's not gonna happen. But today we're just gonna have a nice time watching this death battle with Rocky by myself. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you all are gonna enjoy today's reaction. And yeah, it's pretty much it. So without further ado, this time we're gonna be. I hope you're gonna enjoy Rocky, because you're gonna be sitting on my lap while you're gonna just watch this little screen with mine. I hope you're okay with it. Yo, poop sack. I love you. Okay, Rookie. Alright. And let's play.
Fight! Cell versus Metal Sonic.
Which copycat android is truly the superior model?
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
Yeah.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Oh, this is gonna be cool.
There's a monster stalking Gingertown. No one who's seen it has lived to tell the tale. All it left behind was their clothes. Something ate these people's insides, leaving only a shadow behind.
Some kind of creature driven only by the need to feed. Earth's new apex predator, the ultimate life form.
The Namekian Piccolo went to investigate this manslayer and discovered that it was intelligent. Its tail could unravel to absorb its hapless victims
what happened
and
to that,
add their
man?
energy to its wretched gestalt.
But the nightmare was only just beginning, because for its last trick, somehow this freak of nature knew the Kamehameha.
Oh,
The mystery
no.
of this creature's origin was decades in the making. Years ago, the world was terrorized by the most advanced paramilitary organization in history, the Red Ribbon Army.
Until they got rocked by this little kung fu gremlin, Son Goku.
But Red
Yeah.
Ribbon's dream of
The guy who
revenge
got
lived
beaten by
on within their
Superman
head
3
scientist,
times.
Dr. Giro.
Hiding away in his spooky cave laboratory, Giro would go to work studying the Z fighters from afar, learning everything there was to know about them.
And building a series of androids that would destroy his spiky-haired nemesis once and for all.
He made a ton of them: infinite energy androids, key absorbing androids, trucker head androids, and even ginger androids.
I was gonna say.
None of Giro's creations were capable of matching that drive to improve that Goku and his fellow martial artists possessed.
Luckily, he had one more android left. A cute little booger so complex he'd take years after Giro's death to complete. Its name was Cell.
Born from a single cell, get it? This android possessed the
Hold
genetic
on.
information
I'll
of
do
all
that for
the
you.
greatest warriors that have battled on Earth, and when fully evolved, would become unstoppable.
And with their DNA, Cell absorbed all their powers and techniques too.
Common among all of them is the power to manipulate ki, or the energy that exists in all living things, and weaponize it to fire energy blasts, fly at faster than light speeds, move things with telekinesis, and create force fields.
From the humans, Krillin and Tien, Cell knows the multiform technique, Destructo Disc, and the Tri-Beam, his extra special favorite. Oh, weird, I'm not seeing Chaozu on this list. Sorry, bud.
Is Shiatsu human?
Oh.
Okay. Cell can fire the Death Beam, as well as breathe in and travel through the vacuum of space with the alien genes of Frieza and his father.
And because he's got Piccolo's DNA, Cell can regenerate humongous damage to his body at the cost of some keys.
Cell has survived having half his body vaporized multiple times, and cannot be destroyed unless the small cluster of cells at the core of his being is eradicated.
Should that little bugger survive, Cell will always return, even stronger than before because of the Saiyan DNA he got from Goku and Vegeta. Definitely the cream of the genetic crop.
Sure, he can perfectly replicate attacks like the Gallic Gun, Spirit Bomb, and of course Kamehameha, as well as teleport by locking onto a living being's key signature.
But the best part of being a Saiyan is how much crazy stronger they get every time they almost die.
They can even evolve to become orders of magnitude stronger in the midst of battle. Combine that with Cell's healing factor, and he's effectively the ultimate warrior.
Like a perpetual shonen motion machine.
Driven by a biological imperative, Cell wanted nothing more than to devour Giro's previous androids, 17 and 18, believing it would make him perfect.
Only one problem. The Cell we know was born in the future, and both 17 and 18 had been destroyed. So he murdered Trunks and went back in time. Not our Trunks, future Trunks. Well, not future Trunks, but another future Trunks. It's very complicated. There's like 5 timelines.
As Cell defeated and absorbed the androids, he evolved. Not only getting stronger, but changing his personality and developing a lust for battle.
He became less creepy bug serial killer and more, well, Saiyan. After exploiting that very Saiyan arrogance and warrior's pride, Cell finally became perfect.
And easily dominated Trunks and Vegeta, the latter of whom had decades of battle experience under his belt.
Perfect Cell's power was off the charts. He could threaten the whole Earth just by powering up. With a full power Kamehameha, he was even capable of destroying our entire solar system.
While the vast majority of our solar system's mass is located in the sun, this still means that Cell's key wave would have to reach 2.8 billion miles to eradicate every planet.
But Wiz, maybe he was just exaggerating.
Not likely. Cell's claim has been backed up in multiple guidebooks, and even demonstrated outright in the video games.
Cell's even stronger in the anime adaptation, considering the time Frieza blew up Namek. In the anime, the explosion was literally hundreds of light years wide and lit up the friggin' galaxy.
And Cell was far stronger than Frieza was at that point in time.
Hell, the Namekians could sense him all the way from a different galaxy and thought he might be a threat to the whole universe.
He's also incredibly fast, capable of blitzing even the strongest Z-fighters at the time. Goku flew from Grand Kai's planet of heaven all the way to hell, hundreds of billions of light years in half a minute. And that was in his base form.
Yeah, that's cool, but how about the power to squeeze mini Cell Juniors out of your butt? What? Never heard of that key technique? Call it the Kegel.
Perfect Cell was entirely without peer and, no longer wedded to Giro's petty grudge, decided to prove it with a tournament.
The Cell Games! And if Goku couldn't even beat him, what hope did anyone else have? Vegeta couldn't even handle a Cell Jr.
Their last hope was Goku's own son, Gohan.
After Cell arrogantly let him power up, Gohan unleashed his rage, pushed the bug monster to his absolute limits, and beat him. Wow, Cell, you really are related to Vegeta, aren't you?
In truth, Cell was a victim of his own success. The same Saiyan genes that made him all-powerful also sowed the seeds of his defeat.
He got so mad he even blew himself up. Maybe he does have some Chaozu in him after all.
Even that wasn't enough to totally put him down, and he came back with the same Super Saiyan power-up that Gohan had just unlocked.
Super perfect Cell! Now with more lightning, in a battle for the ages, Cell put the entire weight of his biological programming against one lone Saiyan, and went the distance.
But in the end, it still wasn't enough. No matter how brilliantly Dr. Gero copied the Z-Fighters, he still couldn't quite figure out their knack for going beyond.
What can be destroyed can always be rebuilt. All it takes to recreate the most fearsome warrior in the universe is one single Cell.
Yeah, that's nice.
Hey, real quick, did you know Death Metal launched our own tabletop gaming channel? It's called The Nightly Brew. We're doing Dungeons and Dragons, Blood on the Clock Tower, and a bunch of other stuff. I'd love if you could check it out. We just finished our campaign through the old school Tomb of Horrors, the most infamous dungeon in D&D history. Here's a clip. You quadruple in size.
Oh, there's an actual,
and
yes,
bump into multiple of the columns. There's no way you can fit in this room without touching columns. So you begin floating up.
It's my last character.
as
is like a
giant
D&D.
balloon soot drifts closer to the demon face.
What is
When he gets just a couple feet away from the mouth, soot disappears.
Oh
Aaron's crying. You were like, oh, this dungeon's terrible. It's the most, like, everybody dies. It's the hardest thing. And I was like, we've got this, these other sessions. And then we hit this fucking room, and I am at my limit. I hate this with all of my being.
Okay, that sounds nice. Okay, Rocky, you have the
Time and again, the world and its cuddly forest critters were threatened by the evil and oval Dr. Ivo Eggman Robotnik.
And time and again, that
My-
same world and those same critters were saved by Sonic the Hedgehog. No matter how many robotic badniks the good doctor threw at his blue spiky nemesis, his schemes were always 6 spin jumps to the glowing wing spot away from getting cracked and scrambled.
But it wouldn't be over easy for Eggman. If he couldn't defeat the Blue Blur, he would make his own, Metal Sonic.
Well,
Oh,
0
yeah.
points on creativity for that name, but
yeah,
goddamn,
you know, the
he
guy who
does
got
look
beaten by
metal as
Bowser.
hell.
They say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, so Eggman built Metal with more than enough blast processing to match his prototype.
Metal can zoom around at massively hypersonic speeds, fast enough to fly to nearby planets in seconds.
He's tougher than Eggman's standard equipment, some of which can survive black holes.
Metal can use
Yeah,
all of
many
Sonic's
black
power-ups
holes.
and even replicate his classic spin dash and light speed attack.
But he's got moves of his own.
He can attack with energy blast, fire a chest laser, surround himself in an electric aura, or an impenetrable force field.
By overloading his circuitry with energy, Metal can activate V maximum overdrive, quadrupling his acceleration and obliterating anything in his path, at the risk of self-destructing.
You'd think all that'd be enough to turn the rodent into roadkill, but it only took one showdown on Stardust Speedway to send Metal to the scrap heap.
On paper, Metal should be able to outmatch Sonic in every way, and yet he doesn't. For some reason, Eggman wasn't able to capture that ineffable quality that makes Sonic the fastest thing alive. Metal's defeats at the hands of Sonic and his friends sharpened his AI into a seething hatred of his rival and a burning desire to prove himself superior.
Yeah, well, when you're getting your supersized red ass handed to you by
I'm not gonna remember the
Charmy
name.
B, you know something's gone horribly wrong.
Metal's defeats gave him an existential crisis. If he was created to surpass Sonic and couldn't even manage that, what was he? Why should he exist?
Never one to admit defeat,
idea.
Eggman took Metal back to the drawing board and birthed him anew.
This Neo Metal Sonic was, above all, far smarter.
Especially after he copied Eggman's intelligence and took over his empire. And we mean literally copied. If Metal started as Sonic's copycat, why not hunt all of his furry friends down and copy them too?
Neo Metal Sonic is equipped with scanners in his optic receptors that can copy a person's biodata, giving him the ability to recreate all of their abilities in seconds.
Like the Sonic Boom, Knuckles' hammer punch, Tails' magical swiveling asshole, and Big's ability to
Okay.
suck at fishing.
Metal isn't just learning their moves, he can replicate more esoteric powers like Silver Psychokinesis, manufacture Rouge's mechanical bat guards, or alter his very biology to copy Espio's chameleon invisibility. It's worth mentioning
Wow.
that biological data is a real scientific term and can refer to molecular structures like the genome sequence within a living organism's DNA.
Yeah, his copying is so busted, it doesn't really matter that he's a robot made of metal. If you can do it, so can he. Probably helps that he can
Yeah, that
shapeshift
makes
and
so
regenerate
much
his
sense.
whole body from a puddle.
Likely by copying one of the mightiest
That's
beings on
it.
the planet, the god of destruction, Chaos.
Not the only
the
chaos
guy
he's
who could be
encountered.
versus
By
Kyogre
scanning the
one
ultimate
time.
life form, Shadow the Hedgehog, he gained his ability to manipulate some of the most powerful artifacts in the universe.
You mean the Chaos Emeralds?
Yes.
Oh
The
my
emeralds
God.
contain an infinite wellspring of mystical
Super
power
over-
and life energy. With them, Metal can perform Shadow's chaos control. He can teleport, warp, and distort space, boost his speed, and stop time. And with either the Chaos Emeralds or Master Emerald, he can transform into Super Neo Metal Sonic.
Completely invulnerable and completely golden, Super Neo Metal Sonic can move at faster than light speeds and has the power to move continents.
The emeralds are inconceivably powerful. They've been used to fuel Eggman's Death Egg, which could obliterate star systems.
On their own, they can even create and destroy whole universes.
Other super characters like Sonic have battled and defeated beings like the Time Eater, who could destroy multiple dimensions and timelines in seconds. At their peak, 3 super hedgehogs have even fought Solaris, who nearly consumed Sonic's entire multiverse.
So Super Neo Metal Sonic should be just as powerful as any of them, though he's gotta be quick because all that power only lasts a short time.
The road to total domination was nearly at an end. After manipulating Sonic and friends and copying their abilities, Metal eventually combined their biodata with the mighty Egg Fleet and became Metal Overlord.
Complete with missiles, giant crystal projectiles, and the strength to match 3 supersonic heroes all by himself, Overlord is all-time final boss material.
And he knew it. His ego might as well have had its own health bar. Metal's drive to surpass his rival had morphed into the delusional belief that he was the original, and Sonic the loathsome copy.
A copy that Metal had finally outclassed. All the heroes Metal had gathered had to team up to take him down.
He may have stolen their abilities, but Metal never possessed the thing that made the Sonic heroes successful: their friendship and teamwork.
Aw, how cute! Gag. Probably should have added some of those goddamn rails to the final boss fight, because it is impossible to land on those things. After getting trashed again, Eggman reprogrammed Metal to purge any bits of rebelliousness from his code.
Metal returned to being the Eggman Army's chief enforcer, always proving invaluable as the Bad Doctor's greatest creation, now completely obedient once again.
I don't know, Wiz. Who knows what's really going on behind those glowing red eyes? Maybe Metal is more cunning than he lets on, and is only biding his time until he can take over again.
Maybe the most powerful thing that Metal copied was the ability to lie.
Okay, that's kind of sick.
Hey, I'm Chad, the voice of Boomstick. And if you don't believe me, well, what about now? That's what I thought. Look, the matchup is about to begin, and we can't wait for you to see it. But first, I want to tell you about a brand new thing coming to the Death Battle store, and it's something you guys have been asking for. Matchup pitches. It's a way to meet with me and Ben, the creators of Death Battle, and pitch us a matchup that you've been wanting to see. Any matchup, any way you like. We'd love to hear from you. This was originally a Kickstarter reward, but due to popular demand, we wanted to keep it going. A lot of episodes of Death Battle that are currently being worked on are because of a pitch. So we want to give each pitch the time it needs, so quantity is limited, so you better act quick. Death Battle pitches are available right now on deathbattle.gg. That's our website that's like a Patreon mixed with some other stuff. And if you're a website member, you get discounts on all of our merch, including the pitch calls. While you're there, make sure you check out the Death Battle Retro Tee. It's a shirt we made like over a decade ago. The first Death Battle shirt. I found the file and recreated it, only on a much nicer shirt. So check that out while you're there. Anyway, let's get to the fight. I know you want to see it, and Boomstick wants to see one of these copycats get copy-capped. So here we go, and remember, deathbattle.gg. We want to hear your pitches. Thanks.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a Death Battle!
Okay, pause. Alright. Alright. So, Metal Sonic is gonna own Cell. Can we all agree that? I honestly don't see Cell actually able to damage Metal Sonic. Like, in general. Like, we have seen Metal Sonic get destroyed by Zero. He got destroyed by Bowser. But Cell, on the other hand, I don't think there's no way Cell's gonna be able to actually, like, even scratch Metal Sonic almost. What do you think, Rocky? Rocky, what do you think who's gonna win? It's hard for you to say. Can you say it again? Uh-huh. No. You look adorable. Okay. So yeah, guys, I think it's easy to tell that Metal Sonic is gonna destroy Cell. So let's see him destroy Cell. I think we all can agree about that. If Cell wins, I need to hear what exactly is him possible, because he said he can regenerate his cell, but in order to destroy him, he has to destroy the entire cell. And I think Metal Sonic can actually destroy the entire cell of him. So that's what I'm going to say. So Metal Sonic, he's able to handle that. I mean, he can probably... Oh, that's right. He can also copy the opponent's abilities and all of their moves. So Metal Sonic can potentially copy one of his cells, regeneration, I guess, or its recovery. So I think that's gonna be a pretty interesting fight. So let's see how DevilArtemis which, by the way, DevilArtemis is gonna have his final death battle here. He's gonna animate this final attempt, like final one, I think. At least that's what I've heard about him in the death battle cast. So let's see what he's gonna be pulling out of our, well, I'm not sure if I want to say it, but you know what? Let's get into it. Oh.
Salutations, Dr. Robotnik.
Oh yeah, hold on. I think if I remember, DevilArtemis is gonna be voice acting both of the characters, so this is gonna be also interesting. Sorry about that.
Bring me your strongest.
Oh, sorry.
Spot.
Alright.
Salutations, Dr. Robotnik. Your reputation precedes you. Bring me your strongest fighter or face. Then prepare to kneel before your master. Perfect.
Oh. He asked for it, technically. Well, ready. Oh, I guess they're gonna just jump into the field form, I guess. That's the form?
Tell me, does a machine like yourself ever experience fear? Not anymore.
Oh, good. Okay, just gonna jump into the form, huh? Alright. Uh-oh. That's a death egg. No, probably not.
Fool, you're dealing with the ultimate life form.
Yeah.
I already possess his data. Observe. Chaos.
Roll?
True. Life form data successfully copied. Scum. It'll take more than that to kill me, puppet!
Really? What would kill you, though?
I know. Now I know everything about you, insect.
Some of the insect? I must end it. Uh-oh. Oh, copy is close. Let's just kill them fight.
Don't you dare.
Oh my.
I am not just the greatest warrior in the universe. I am all of them. If you are all of them, then so am I. I'll never lose to a machine like...
Damn. You got cooked.
I'll crush you.
Damn. Yep, I figured.
So, now Metal's got all the powers of the Chaos Emeralds and the Z Fighters? Well, that world's fucked. our bad.
Pretty much.
Cell may have been one of the greatest threats in Dragon Ball Z, but Eggman's greatest creation ultimately proved too much for him. Let's break this down into 4 categories: strength, speed, abilities, and adaptation.
First up, who was the strongest? Well, it's no surprise that any version of Cell was gonna be way more powerful than base Metal or Neo. Even just using the manga, blowing up a solar system is far beyond the level of power output Metal can match.
Without his stronger forms. With them, the power gap entirely reversed. Not only could Metal match Cell's solar system busting or scaling from Frieza, but he could surpass it with the universe-destroying power of the Emeralds.
But hang on, Wiz. Those Namekians said that Cell was strong enough to threaten a universe on his own.
They did, but they didn't specify how, and there's nothing suggesting he can destroy it in one go, especially since it's only brought up theoretically and without any time frame.
Even being generous and assuming he could just blow it up, final bosses like Time Eater and Solaris can destroy the wider multiverse, and Super Neo Metal would scale to them. Metal Sonic takes the edge in strength.
And with Sonic characters being known for their speed, you might think that was an easy win for Metal.
At his max speed in his super form, he should
you're
be
that
comparable to entities like the Time Eater, who in Shadow Generations can
Gotta be
destroy
high or
entire
something.
universes in
Otherwise-
seconds. By using the radius of the observable universe, we can estimate the Time Eater's destructive wave traveled at about 180 quadrillion times faster than light.
Certainly impressive, but let's compare that to Goku's flight from heaven to hell shortly after the Cell games, which covered roughly a universe in distance at approximately 180 quadrillion times faster than light.
Hey, just like Time Eater. The difference, though, was
Really?
that
They're
Goku was in
really
his base
similar?
form, way slower than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan or Super Perfect Cell.
Factoring in Super Saiyan multipliers, Super Perfect Cell can move upwards of 100 times faster than that, and so 100 times faster than Metal Sonic. Somehow, Cell takes the edge in speed.
Seriously?
You know, the thing Metal was designed for.
What?
Wait, so you're seriously telling me Cell is faster than Metal Sonic? Oh, well, that's something new to hear every day. Something you learn every day.
Wasn't expecting that. Let's see if any of their abilities could tip the scales.
They shared many of the same powers, like telekinesis, force fields, and energy projectiles. Of note though, Cell's regeneration was clearly superior, able to fully heal from a single cluster of microscopic cells.
On top of that, Cell's Saiyan genes would let him grow in power every time he almost died, and his Cell Juniors gave him the numbers advantage.
And considering Super Neo Metal had a time limit, Cell would have a big advantage in a battle of attrition.
But with Chaos Control, that became a lot tougher.
Cell and his juniors had no way to deal with Metal boosting his speed or stopping time, something that countered Cell's speed advantage and left him open. And with Silver's psychokinesis, or the Emerald spatial distortion, Metal could seriously impair Cell's healing.
So it helped that Cell could fall back on his martial arts abilities in a pinch.
Despite effectively being a newborn, Cell's genetic instincts allowed him to best Earth's most skilled warriors back to back to back.
Metal may have copied Eggman's brains, but he definitely isn't as good of a fighter. The Sonic heroes haven't trained like the Z fighters, and Metal's been beaten by all of them a bunch of times. So all that in mind, abilities is roughly a wash.
Which leaves us with the one thing they're both known for: their capability to evolve and become more powerful in response to their opponents, aka their adaptation.
And frankly, that's where this back and forth completely breaks. Because at the end of the day, Metal can copy Cell, but Cell can't absorb Metal.
Cell's ability to physically absorb an opponent is primarily viable against foes he can match or overpower.
Even if he took Metal by surprise, he can't absorb fully inorganic robots like Android 16.
Cell was only able to absorb androids 17 and 18 because they were primarily organic.
They're actually more like cyborgs and are only called androids in the English translation.
Metal, on the other hand, can copy a target's biodata through only a few seconds of direct eyesight, something he could easily accomplish during a time stop.
And using it on Cell means he wouldn't just get Cell's powers, but the powers of all of the Z Warriors too.
Remember, Metal's copying applies to abilities that fundamentally affect his own biology, like Espio's invincibility or Chaos's liquid body. Nothing Cell has would be off limits, especially given all of Cell's powers were genetically encoded in the first place, quite literally biodata.
Cell's Saiyan power-ups? Copied. Cell's regeneration? Copied. Cell's key techniques? Believe it or not, copied.
Chaos Emeralds are described as being able to produce life energy, similar to Ki, so there's a precedent for him being able to replicate Cell's power set. And at this point, there's nothing stopping Metal from, say, stopping time and using a Kamehameha to vaporize him at a cellular level, just like Gohan did.
Cell might be able to do anything the Z fighters know how to do, but that's not gonna help him, cause Metal can do anything Cell knows how to do. Strange, isn't it?
Cell just doesn't have any options to retaliate that Metal wouldn't also possess, including any of his previous advantages. Metal's copy ability is just that overpowered.
Oh, I guess now I get why they called it Sonic CD.
And why's that?
Cell died. Wiz, you get it? CD? Wiz, where you go? Come on back.
No, I'm not
Next
even.
time
I'm not even gonna say the winner of this death battle. No, I'm out. I'm out. Goodbye. Bye. All right, who's next time?
Cell died.
Oh wait.
Wizzy, back.
Wait,
Next
hold on.
time on.
Hold on, I need to remove this part. I don't think I need to have this thing on. All right, who's next time?
Wiz, where
The
you
winner
go?
is
Come
Metal
on
Sonic.
back. Next time on Death Battle.
All right, who's next? Wait, is that Bakugo? Yeah, it's Bakugo, and
Subscribe and join as a member to see more Death Battle. Thanks for
Bakugo versus
watching.
Rezi? Who is it?
Subscribe and join.
Rezi. Okay, I don't know who that is, but I do know a little bit about Bakugo. Alright. Well, that was a pretty fun matchup, and yeah, it was not that bad. It was pretty
Join as a member to see more Death Battle.
Although-
Thanks for watching.
Let's be real here. This was just a one-sided here. There was no way Cell's gonna win this death battle. But the next time is gonna be Bakugo versus
Join as a member.
Rezi. Rezi? I don't know who that is, but this is gonna be pretty nice. Gonna be pretty interesting. So yeah, guys. Hope you all gonna enjoy. Have you all enjoyed today's reaction? I hope you all have enjoyed Rocky watching this death battle with me. It was a little complicated for him to sit still, but it was still just relaxing. Okay. Now you can do whatever you want. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I got a lot of hair around my shirt now. But anyways, guys, I hope you all enjoyed today's video, and yeah, this was pretty nice, I guess. And I guess it's a W for me, another W for myself. So that's 2 wins. And next time is Bakugo versus Rezi, and I'm guessing I'm gonna go with so far Bakugo because that's the only one I know about a little bit. And yeah, that is really all that I can say from it. So thank you guys for watching today's video. Subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed. Next time we'll be watching more of our old school content, or just our last video content maneuver. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So see y'all next time for another video. I'm Mr. Lucky Luke, and as always, stay lucky out.